Today I asked a believer, "Do you believe in the Noah's Ark tale?" "Absolutely," he said. "What makes you think so surely that it really happened?" I replied. He said, "If the Bible says it, then it must be true." I said, "Come with me. Let me help you see beyond the smoke they put in front of you." I asked him, "How big was the ark?" 300 cubits long, he said. I made my research. 300 cubits are actually 510 feet, which appears quite long for some, but is it? Then to have a better understanding of it, I compared the ark to ships we already have knowledge of. You're not ready for what's coming. Stick with me. That's the ark compared to other real boats. So the ark was not so big after all, at least not big enough for what they claim it served for. Now I Google for him. How many land animal species are there? Exactly what you see is right. There are more than 5 million animal species of the ground. With this number, we can easily have an idea of how many animals there were on the ark, since God ordered Noah to take a pair of every living animals and birds. Or maybe not, because when you read Genesis 7 verses 2, 3, it is no longer a pair of each animal that God asked him to take in. It's instead 7 pairs. The verse goes, "Take with you 7 pairs, male and female, of each animal I have approved for eating and for sacrifice." Read for yourself if you please. Anyway, I am not going to take this into account. So if we do a simple math, Noah had to put on the ark at least 10 million animals. A pair of elephant, giraffe, tiger, lion, cheetah, rhinoceros, gorillas, you name it. We're not even talking about the birds yet. A pair of elephants alone is about 10 tons. Let's be honest. Can you really imagine a wooden boat made by 2 men holding so much weight and has enough space for all of these? Remember folks, a wooden boat. There's no way that it can hold so much animals. No need to tell you how bad water would leak in with such an inward weight. Then I Googled for him. How many days Noah spent in the ark? 150 days. Oh my God. So not only Noah could fit so many animals on his piece of wood, but he could also stock enough water and enough food for all of them for 150 days, without forgetting that some of them are predators. How believable is that? Just use a little bit of logic and see for yourself, fam. And again I asked him, as it was raining crazily, Noah had to put a roof on the ark, right? He answered, yes, he had to cover it from everywhere for better chance of survival. So God asked him to put one window. Hold on, only one window. How do you expect more than 10 million creatures in Noah's family to breathe in a sealed boat with pee and poop smell, with only one window? The amount of air entering is largely too inferior to what's being consumed. I think you, believer, really need some science classes. And last question I asked the believer, how many lives did the flood wipe out from the surface of the earth? He said, millions of people had died in the flood. I replied, can you imagine millions of dead bodies all across the planet, but no evidence of them whatsoever? Where are these millions of corpses, Hein? Why we couldn't find them? Finally, he said, well, brother, archaeologists even found the place where the boat landed on the mountain. I said, what place, brother? Show me. He showed me this. You see, he showed me this picture. Then I'm like, ooh, gosh, give me a break, brother. Just use a little bit of logic with me. The bottom of boat is shaped like that. Do you see well? Like that. So normally the trace of something like that would be a hole in the shape of a tub, like it smacked the ground open. But this one looks like the mark of rug, sir. No offense, honesty. Put the bias aside for a sec. Does this really look like the bottom of a boat to you? And furthermore, before you go thinking that the Noah's story is original, take a look at the Epic of Gilgamesh. They are 2 similar stories, except that the Epic of Gilgamesh was written way before the Noah's Ark. And one last thing, scientists even said that our planet Earth does not contain enough water, showing that it has been flooded as described in the Bible. The Noah's Ark is entirely fiction. The biblical story is being based on a much older myth originating in Sumeria and called the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's not possible to build an entire wooden boat of those dimensions without very significant problems of flexing and risks of breaking up due to structural load involved. Even the Wyoming, the largest wooden ship ever built, had major structural issues and had to have steam-driven pumps installed and run 24/7 to cope with the amount of water which was leaking in. Like and follow for episode X.